Welcome to the Total Brake Job, brought to you by WinHere. This video will show a basic drum brake inspection and replacement of brake shoes and hardware. A proper brake job starts with premium parts designed to original equipment manufacturer's specifications. Premium brake drums, premium brake shoes, and new brake hardware are the best insurance for a trouble-free brake job. Prior to starting, make sure you have all the items you need on hand. Specialty tools such as a hold-down spring tool, return spring pliers, and an adjuster spoon are common tools needed for drum brake repair. If you will be machining the brake drum, always mark the brake drum and wheel hub for reassembly. Marking its current location will help prevent any runout caused by stacking tolerances. To aid in removing the brake drum from the wheel hub flange, you may need to spray penetrating oil around the center hub hole and use a hammer on the brake drum hat. It is also possible that the brake shoes may need to be unadjusted to allow the brake drum to slide off easier. There are many brake adjuster styles, but in this case we can go through the hole in the backing plate and rotate the screw adjuster. With the brake drum removed, we now have a full view of the brake shoes, springs, and wheel cylinder. Closely inspect the brake shoes for cracks, uneven wear, or separation from backing. Brake shoes require replacement when 1/8 of an inch, 3 millimeters or less, of friction material remains. Be sure to inspect the wheel cylinder at this time. Pull the dust boot back and look for any fluid leaking. Any brake fluid leak will require replacement of the wheel cylinder. Using a flat tool, push on the pins of the wheel cylinder to ensure the pistons will move both directions. If one or both sides do not move, replace the wheel cylinder. Use a micrometer to measure the brake drum thickness. Measurements should be taken in at least 3 different locations around the drum using the largest recorded reading. If any scoring or rust pits are present, take the measurement in these locations. After measuring the brake drum, check your brake specification book to make sure there is enough material for the brake drum to be machined. Any deep scoring, deep rust pits, or hard spots will require the brake drum to be replaced. Remember, always replace brake drums in pairs to avoid pulling or uneven braking. To remove the brake shoes, first remove the return spring and the adjuster lever. Next, remove the brake shoe hold-down or universal spring. Remove the adjuster and the universal or hold-down spring. And finally, remove the parking brake cable from the brake shoe lever. The backing plate may have anywhere from 4 to 8 points that the brake shoes are in direct contact with. If there are grooves or excessive wear at these points, the brake shoes will not operate as designed. Any excessive wear will require backing plate replacement. Clean all old brake dust, dirt, and debris from the backing plate with a wire brush. Then use a rag with brake cleaning solution and thoroughly wipe the backing plate. It's extremely important to remove any rust or corrosion from the hub flange face. We recommend using an abrasive pad and a hub cleaning tool for cleaning around the wheel studs. You should never remove more material than needed or produce any sparks while cleaning the hub face. All metal-on-metal contact points need to be lubricated with a silicone-based high-temperature brake lubricant. This includes where the brake shoes contact the backing plate. As well, any moving parts also need to be lubricated with the same silicone-based high-temperature brake lubricant. As we stated earlier, a proper brake job starts with premium parts designed to original equipment specifications. Premium brake drums are the best way to ensure your brakes operate how the original manufacturer designed them. Premium brake drums ensure the strictest physical, safety, and performance requirements. Premium brake drums offer heat dissipation, stopping distance, fade, wear, and noise suppression that's equivalent to or better than the original equipment manufacturer. New brake drums may require a chemical cleaner to remove the shipping oil. Even if a chemical cleaner is used, new brake drums still need to be cleaned with a mild dish detergent and water using a scrub brush. A spray chemical cleaner will not remove all of the machining particles that may be trapped in the surface of the brake drum. Prior to machining, be sure to clean both the inboard and outboard mounting surfaces of rust and debris. Machining or replacing brake drums is vital to achieving the proper transfer layer of brake shoe friction material to the brake drum surface. Machining a brake drum leaves tiny pieces of metal on the braking surface of the brake drum. Machined brake drums will need to be cleaned with a mild dish soap and water using a scrub brush. Always use premium brake shoes. Premium brake shoes are designed to be equivalent to or better than the original equipment brake shoes. It's equally important to replace the brake hardware or spring kit. Springs lose their tension from heat and should be replaced with the brake shoes. To install the new brake shoes and hardware, it will be assembled in the reverse order from how it came apart. First, install the secondary brake shoe with the return spring. Next, install the primary brake shoe and return or universal spring. Finally, install the adjuster spring. Now that the new brake shoes and hardware are installed, they need to be adjusted. A brake shoe adjustment gauge is recommended. Place the drum side into the brake drum and adjust the lever to the correct size. Next, place the shoe side over the widest point of the brake shoes. Rotate the adjuster wheel until the shoes just make loose contact with the gauge. Install the brake drum and rotate several times to ensure the brake drum rotates without excessive drag. If there is excessive drag, rotate the adjuster wheel in small increments until the drum will rotate without excessive drag. An alternative adjustment method is to install the brake drum and go through the adjuster hole in the backing plate. Rotate the drum while turning the adjuster wheel to achieve a very slight drag. The drum should rotate with very minimal effort, but should not freewheel. Make sure to install the new moisture plug in the adjuster hole when you are finished. One of the most important yet overlooked steps is the proper torque of the wheel nuts. Please consult the service manual for the torque specifications of your vehicle. Using an impact wrench to tighten the wheel nuts is perfectly acceptable as long as they are not tightened to the full torque specification at this time. We are merely tightening the wheel nuts to about 80% of the final torque value. This is enough to hold the wheels in place until the final torque to the manufacturer's specification with a torque wrench. Turn your impact gun to the lowest possible setting with the torque stick. Never touch the torque stick while tightening, as the torque stick acts much like a tuning fork and uses vibrations. Holding or even touching the torque stick while tightening will change the torque value and will over-tighten the wheel nuts. Once the vehicle is on the ground, set your torque wrench to the manufacturer's specification and be sure to always use a star or crisscross pattern when you are tightening the wheel nuts. Prior to test driving the vehicle, we need to bring the wheel cylinder pistons back into contact with the brake shoes. With the vehicle key in the off position, slowly pump the brake pedal several times. Do not push the pedal all the way to the floor, as this could damage the master cylinder. Repeat this step until you feel resistance in the brake pedal. The final step is a test drive which will bed in the new brake shoes to the new brake drum surface. Performing this step incorrectly accounts for about 80% of brake pedal pulsation complaints. The complete bed-in process can take up to 500 miles, 800 kilometers. Therefore, we recommend the following procedure. 30 moderate to firm, not locking the wheels or causing the ABS to engage, stops from 60 kilometers an hour, 30 miles per hour, down to 8 kilometers per hour, 5 miles per hour, not coming to a complete stop during the entire process. Allow 30 seconds of cooling between stops. Avoid panic stops or severe braking situations for 300 kilometers, 200 miles. This presentation is by no means representative of all braking systems or brake problems. This is merely a guide for brake shoe, hardware, and drum replacement. Brake components should be installed by a trained technician. Any improper installation of brake components may cause a serious safety issue or an accident. Please consult the appropriate service manual for detailed instructions and specifications.